For those who are frequent flyers with the amazing carrier that is Emirates Airlines, would surely have marveled at the sight that is the Airbus A380, especially on their international trips. Nobody would blame you, as this record-breaking aircraft is not only remarkable due to its size, but it's also noteworthy thanks to the amazing facilities found on this supermassive jumbo jet. All of us must have wondered at some point how these massive aircrafts, or any aircraft for that matter, put together and the kind of effort the European multinational aerospace company put into bringing this behemoth into existence. Let's take a look at the billion-dollar mega jumbo jet that is the Airbus A380. We'll begin this video with the easiest question you might ask. Why did the European aerospace giant decide to produce this massive airplane? Well, it is simple. After observing the dominance enjoyed by Boeing, the American multinational corporation that designs airplanes among other things, Airbus decided to knock them off their perch by directly challenging them with their own innovative aircrafts. As such, they targeted Boeing 747's dominance, which held the title of being the king of the long-haul market from the time it was launched in 1968. In order to put an end to this dominance, Airbus embarked on a $10.7 billion project at the turn of the century, and by 2007, the A380 was rolled out of the Airbus factory in Toulouse. Large and grand, the Airbus stood out because of its massive frame. In fact, it is the largest passenger airliner and the only full-length double-decker jet airliner in the world, looming over its competitors like an eagle hovering over smaller birds of prey in the skies. Funnily enough, it might be insightful to point out that the plane is inspired by the steppe eagle, which can control the feathers at the tips of its wing by curling them until they are vertical enough to provide the optimum lift for the bird. That being said, it's still a feat in itself to design such a behemoth of the skies. Not only was it larger than its competitors in size, the plane also appeared to have the ability to accommodate the most passengers in the world. As one of its final models, the A380-800 has the ability to carry about 575 in a typical configuration, while also being able to seat 853 passengers when altered to reach its maximum capacity. This dwarfs the direct competitor, the Boeing 747, which has a maximum capacity of only 426 passengers. Not only can the A380 carry almost 1,000 passengers, it also has a range of about 8,000 nautical miles. To put that into some sort of scale, the Earth is only made up of about 21,600 nautical miles. So the next question is, how does Airbus put this mean flying machine together? Well, the simple answer is that it does so in a manner similar to how it puts its other aircrafts together. The different parts of the plane are produced in different parts of Europe. Following this, these different parts are put together when all the components get to Airbus's factory in the French city of Toulouse. For further detail, over 4 million parts of this plane are created over 1,500 businesses that are scattered across 30 countries around the world. Of course, we're talking about anything ranging from nuts and bolts to seats and engines. As you can imagine, putting the world's largest plane together will need a lot of space and manpower in order to complete this complex process. Consequently, this factory in Toulouse is said to cover an area of more than 1,700 acres, which is filled up with about 20,000 hardworking people. No doubt, they'd have to be hardworking to put this amazing mega plane together. After all, in order to seat the nearly 1,000 people we mentioned earlier, the plane is required to be 238 feet long, with a wingspan that initially came up to about 90 feet, which is pretty much the size of a football field and is said to be able to carry over 70 cars with ease. It goes without saying that this makes the dimensions of the different parts of the plane much larger than most other planes. Unsurprisingly, such parts can weigh tens of thousands of pounds. These parts are transported to Toulouse by huge flatbed trucks, and in order to ensure that there's no foul play when moving these massive pieces, they are usually transported with police escorts. However, in order to mobilize the biggest parts of the plane, Airbus usually makes use of its Beluga XL transport aircraft, which uses its extended fuselage to accommodate these massively oversized parts. Once these parts are in Toulouse, the workers at the assembly make use of special flatbed vehicles along with the biggest ceiling-mounted cranes so that they can move and put the different sections of the plane into the appropriate place. These parts are then fixed into place with the use of a combination of manual efforts from some to the 20,000 workers we mentioned, along with robotics and heavy machinery, where the workers are just not able to match up. After a certain point when these parts are fixed, the wings and the tail of the planes are painted with the designs of the airlines. While those parts are painted, the main fuselage is still covered with protective anti-corrosive coating. Following this, the soon-to-be complete jumbo jet is taken to a separate assembly hangar, where the jaw-dropping Trent 970 turbofan engines are fixed onto the plane. Following this, the now fully assembled airplane is rolled out of the hangar so that it can embark on its maiden flight test. So awesome. Once this is done successfully, the newly assembled plane is deemed ready to complete its paint job. This is done so that it can have its owner's colors and logo. As you can see in the video, this is not as easy as some of you might think. These jobs are done by professionals who utilize a white coat for the first paint job before protecting the new coat with special plastic covers and tapes called primers. This is so that they can protect that white paint from the secondary coats. As you can see, the secondary coats are used to imprint the aforementioned customer's patented colors, logos, lettering, and other important details so that we can identify which airline owns this super jumbo jet. Interestingly, this needs to be applied by hand. As you can imagine, the massive size of the plane means that it's pretty much all hands on deck when it's time to face this task. In order to cover the entirety of the plane, these people need to make use of special motorized lifts. That being said, as dangerous as it is to climb so high, the real danger in this task might be brought about by the use of toxic paints to give the plane its color. As a result, the painters are made to protect themselves with specialized suits and masks to prevent them from inhaling the toxic fumes emitted from the liquid paint. Following this, the plastic protective covers are removed from the plane once it's been determined that the plane is dry. As astounding as the plane's facade may be, that isn't the end of the marvel that is the Airbus A380. Not only is it the largest and one of the most advanced passenger aircrafts on Earth, the plane is also fitted with features that cannot be found in other planes today. Although each airline may have their own specifics when it comes to the plane's interior design, in most cases, the furniture and decorations are required to fit a specific kind of aesthetic. As such, Airbus fits the plane with a wide range of cabin equipment, storage facilities and containers, and seating according to the client's demands. With Qatar Airlines, for example, the airline demands that their planes be fitted with the royal purple colors that are associated with the national airline. Along with the specific colors, the airline also demands that the seating arrangement of their planes be in such a manner that provides various sectional seating for premium passengers in first class or business class. In conclusion, putting such a massive project together is no easy feat. Although the plane may have had its ups and downs, especially during the periods leading to the coronavirus years of 2020 to 2022, which is when most, if not all, of the 254 A380 were grounded as long-haul flights were prohibited in order to curb the spread of COVID-19, airlines like Emirates Airlines have revived the use of this plane, and as such, the challenge has been thrown again against the Boeing 747. Soon, and very soon indeed, Airbus will most likely win the battle of the skies as the king of the long-haul market. At least now we can fully appreciate the huge effort it takes to achieve this goal. This brings our video to an end. Be sure to like and subscribe as well. Until next time, have a safe flight.